All right, it's 6:30. We'll start the meeting. There is a need to add a second executive session for personnel. Does anyone have anything else? No? Any other need to amend the agenda? Can I have a motion?
Motion to accept as amended.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anything on the select board minutes of January 7th? I didn't see anything. No
Good to me.
corrections, okay.
Good.
Town manager's report?
All right, Ann and I attended the VLCT wastewater grants and funding webinar on January 14th. It's focused on steps that municipalities need to take prior to applying for wastewater funding. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of new information for us, so we're hoping to hear about other funding options than the usual, the clean water, USDA, RD, A&R. So they're doing series with these, so we're hoping the next one maybe it will. I mean, it was a good introduction, but we've gone down that road. So,
Yep.
Ann and Bill Pradico have been researching options for new PD body cameras and car cameras. Our current cameras are no longer supported by the vendor and have become outdated.
Okay.
So I think Ann and Bill are talking tomorrow night on that? No, computers tomorrow night. So 3 of the 17 delinquent tax accounts have agreed to payment plans, which removes them from the sale. And as of today, we have received about $60,000 in on delinquents, so that's good. Plains Road Sewer Project is still moving forward, except for the last few days because it's been too cold. 9 out of 13 manhole structures have been installed, and temporary cold patch has been applied to the disturbed areas of the road. We are planning on keeping the road closed to through traffic during the day hours and opening up at night for traffic at the end of the day. Hopefully, we will see a savings on flaggers. As you all are aware, we have new mandatory ethics trainings. I did mine, and Alicia's actually done hers. She sent me her certificate. It is a 43-minute training through Secretary of State's office, and Ann has provided the link. I think she emailed it to you guys.
Yeah, it's
and
on
it's
the
in
agenda.
and it's on here for the packets. There's also an open meeting law one that we have to watch every year now. I think the ethics is every 3, and then open meeting law. So that one's on the Secretary of State's website too. And that's really all I have. Just a couple of additions here. I see Ann had put the Comcast information that's just for emergency things, which we'll use to update the local emergency management plan. And we did receive, I think it was sent to all of you guys too, that Rob Ketchum is resigning from the Pittsford Rec Committee. Sounds like he's got a lot going on, so we're hoping that maybe we can still kind of use him in an ambassador type situation and be able to pick his brain when needed. So
I know. I think he had probably 25 years on that.
That's a long time.
that's all I have.
All right. Any questions for the town manager? All right. Any select board member remarks?
Yeah, Dan and I attended the Rutland Regional Planning Commission Selectmen's Roundtable that happened the other night. I'm sure Dan will have some comments, but it was an excellent meeting.
Good.
They're going to have some more.
They said they were going to try to schedule some more.
Great.
I'd encourage anyone else to go at the same time. It was really great to be with, I think there was maybe 8 other towns there, 7.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
know. It was a good affair.
Good.
Cool.
Anybody else have anything?
Next Wednesday, I'm signed up to go to Barry. The league is putting on a prepper for town meetings.
Okay.
So this will be the first town meeting that I'll be sitting in on. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to ride up, try to get you in
All right. Great. When is that?
next Wednesday.
Okay.
It is online too, but
It's during the day?
9 to noon.
Okay. Great. All right, any public comment? Everybody's on the agenda. All right, old business. Syndicate Carver Road, Syndicate Road, Carver Street discussion.
I will recuse myself from this
You don't think you have to leave the room?
No, I'll go sit over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna want to be in the audience.
So there's 2 board members from Brandon here. Doug Bailey and Ralph, you two are here from Brandon.
Okay. Yeah, so this has come up before. We just haven't heard directly from the Brandon Selectboard, so.
Thank you. Yeah, first I'd like to say thank you for allowing us to come in. We know we're not taxpayers in your town, so we appreciate the opportunity to come and talk. certainly Carver Street, as we call it in Brandon, Lower Carver Street, and Syndicate Road for you folks, joins the two towns together. I believe from the signage, I drove down it today, the signage on your end and our end says it's not maintained in the winter. I was not aware that your end wasn't maintained, but there is a sign that says that. I don't know if that's an official policy or not. It was very passable today. We're having a great deal of troubles with people dumping on our end of the road, probably because our end is longer than your end, and our end is a little more out in the countryside. Really came to the forefront this year when somebody dumped a lot of asphalt shingles into the water, and the state had the town of Brandon get them all out. So between having to send a backhoe down and a dump truck down to dig them all out, and then they couldn't just go to our dump, they had to go to a hazardous waste dump. It's cost over $1,000 of taxpayer money just to get rid of the shingles. And it's brought it to the forefront that this is a long-standing problem that we would like to try to work towards solving. It was suggested about closing the road and making it a pathway. It was discussed at our meeting. There was no decision made, no motion made. So I want to be very clear with that. We would like to find a solution that wouldn't be it, but a lot for me depends on what landowners along the road actually want to say. Unless it goes into the river, the trash, it's not our problem. But if it goes into the river, then whoever owns the land on the side of the river or the town ends up having to clean it up. So on my drive down today, just because I have not been down that road in a long time, I found the normal, mini tires, a shop vac, a mattress, larger items, a refrigerator, and the one that was really caught my eye was a cap off of a pickup truck chucked into the woods on somebody's, property. It has been this way for many, many years. And so my personal view, many years ago, I worked with a group of horseback riders and went from Massachusetts to Canada, and I was in charge of routing and whatever to go through from Rutland to Brandon and Brandon up above. And we rode, we had probably 70 or 80 horses go up through that road with covered wagons. And it was really well received. It's a beautiful spot. And it's a shame that people are taking a beautiful spot and turning it into a dump because they don't want to do something else. So I guess our mission is to just let you know that we're having a problem, we're wrestling with it. We know the road comes through to your end. We know that closing it could create some hardships, I don't know. I would have think in emergency conditions or whatever, people would either go Route 7 or I guess what do you call the other one? Well, we call Florence Road or West Creek Road to get to Brandon. I don't think if someone was trying to make a quick trip to Brandon, they would go up Syndicate Road. But just like the open dialogue and in any way, it does not have to be tonight. I would be more than happy to hear from any landowners or board members or citizens of your town what their thoughts might be. Because we do feel it's a beautiful area and it's terrible that it's getting trashed. This is Ralph. He's another select board. Ralph Heath here. I don't know if Ralph wants to add anything.
No, you covered.
So that's what I have to say. I appreciate it very much that you're allowing us to come.
Absolutely, thank you. I know, and we are aware of the problem with trash down there. It's been going on for years. And
Should they contact you, Doug?
Pardon?
Any members of the public that want to discuss it, should they contact you directly?
They can contact me, certainly. My email address is in the town website, my phone number.
I won't publish that in the minutes, but
Okay, yep.
just as a point
Would love
person.
to talk with anyone that has input. What we have heard from the public so far is put a dumpster down there, and our concern then was we would be closing our landfill and dumping in the dumpster every 4 days.
yeah,
Cameras, and we know how game cameras are not going to get a license plate clear enough to probably stop it. We've wrestled, we've discussed many ideas, but I don't think we've come up with a perfect solution yet. And we probably will not come up with a perfect solution. So.
no,
So you considered closing the road?
We have considered throwing the road up, having it closed, gated to vehicle traffic, open for bicycles, four-wheelers, hunting, fishing, whatever. But, you know, we just don't know how to stop cars from going down there and throwing their trash out. And it's not all local people. During Green Up Day, we found some bags of trash that had address labels from Rutland, Vermont. You know, so we know it's, you know, unfortunately, and we also don't have our head so buried in the sand that we don't know that if we close that the problem's not gonna end up going somewhere else.
Right.
We don't know how to solve that problem. You know, I think the people that are throwing trash out in this volume are gonna do it somewhere. And it would be nice to find it, you know, possibly, you know, more signage on both ends of the road, your end and our end, that, you know, this is not a dump. We love our road.
Is there any signage now? Do we have any signage against?
There is nothing about trash.
Nothing about trash, I don't think.
Our section of that road's pretty short. It doesn't, it ends before the bridge, Dan.
Yeah.
Before the bridge,
Before
right?
the bridge is
Yeah.
Brandon's. Well, this is just today, just so I don't, you know, if what we had someone steal a car from some other town and park it in a field and light it on fire down here this morning. So, you know, and it wasn't that road, but we've had a couple of things where someone left a camper down there last year, and you know, but Elm Street's the same way. We you know, whenever there's a place where there aren't houses, people think that it's. I think it's just it's an ongoing thing. I mean, we deal with it here too on the various roads. So
Yeah.
Our road agent has also said that he graded it at one point this year, just before deer season, and he went back 2 weeks later, and the pickup trucks with big knobby tires had chewed up every single thing that he had done. And, you know, again, we're pouring money into something that seems to be not appreciated by a lot of people. And I know that the same people that came to our meeting and complained have already come to your meeting, and I apologize for the fact that they got here before we did, but we were, you know, trying to reach out to schedules to come see you. So, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
You
So-
said that what they threw in the creek was shingles?
Well,
Why
that's
do we
good.
have to take them to Coventry?
What was that in?
The shingles that were thrown in the creek.
Asphalt shingles.
They could have gone to.
It was only $1,000. They were probably considered C&D. So,
They
not
take them to
hazardous waste,
construction
but
waste.
C&D.
but construction waste.
Construction
Yeah.
waste,
Yeah.
probably from the blues
Rutland.
and stuff that are in it.
Hmm?
Probably from the blues and stuff that are in it. Considered
Well, they take
construction
it
waste.
just for future reference in case you gotta haul some
Okay.
more out.
Yep.
They should take it at, the,
Gleason
Rutland
Road.
County, at Gleason Road.
Yeah, I think we had to take it somewhere like that, and we had to pay a fee. Wherever we took it to.
Shouldn't have been $1,000,
We
no
were
way.
paid.
No, it shouldn't have been that much.
No, it seems like a lot.
$140 a
Yeah.
ton.
If trash is the problem, why wouldn't you just assess your town taxes to include trash removal? I mean, town of Pittsford could do the same thing.
We have 2 trash companies in town that pick up trash for a fee.
I know other towns like Middlebury do this, where they contract
Pick up
it out.
everybody's trash.
Yep,
Yeah.
they contract it out,
it's expensive.
Yeah,
Ask
it is.
Proctor.
Proctor does
It's
it.
very expensive.
but it stops trash from getting dumped on the side of the road.
So, you know, I know we always see, you know, we call it free tire day, green up day. You always get 60 tires next to the dumpster by the end of the day. I think it's just gonna continue no matter what road it's on.
Yeah, they'll move from that road to another one.
Unfortunately, people just are that way.
Cameras do work. They do pick up the license plates.
Yeah, with new cameras now.
Use them all the time.
Yeah.
How old
So
down
they
there?
do work. And a little bit of signage, people know they're being watched, there's gonna be a little less of that.
Well, I know we talked, and I don't know if it was one of the, maybe it was Dave and I were talking, or one of the officers, like, well, even if we have cameras on each ends of the roads, you're gonna see a vehicle go in with stuff in it, and the
Yeah.
camera's gonna pick it up coming out with nothing in it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be pretty easy to put the
Pinpoint
pieces
it.
together,
Sure
so.
is.
And I think we have actually gone after some people for trash down there with going through it and finding names, haven't we? It seems not that long ago we
One
found
of
some.
and the Syndicate Road.
Yeah.
When Chad cleans it up, we try to gather names out of it.
Yeah, so.
I will pass that on to our management team.
Yeah. Dave?
So I guess as the primary landowner on that road, I will speak now. When your town selectman, or not selectman, town manager, I'm not sure whether it's Bill or Seth that's the town manager now, but they both called me.
Okay.
And again, you can clarify this, I guess. They were talking gating the road. I mean, I have to have access over there because I've got fields all the way from the last house on your end to this end. So, you know, and we had agreed that we would talk about ways of gating it so that it works for me, works for you, and whatever. Through the grapevine, I hear that you're talking about making it a trail. There was no talk about that, and I'm definitely not in favor of that. I do not want the classification of the road changed. Now, the garbage has been, I mean, I've dealt with it forever.
Probably you more than anyone.
Probably me more than, because I get it both ways. I get it dumped on my property, and then what they dump in the creek floats up on my property. So, yeah, I feel your pain. I guess listening to this, have you thought about, because I know right where they're dumping it in. There's 2-3 primary places where they're dumping it. Drilling posts in so they can't, because they back up and dump it. They aren't going to carry it and dump it.
Right.
Those fishing accesses, the one by the culvert, just your side of the bridge, you go up through, and then after my property line where the road turns and goes up the hill before the long straight stretch, they dump it in there, and then I'm sure they're dumping it in at Willie's Bow. Just take some old guardrail posts and put in there so they can't back up there anymore. And try that to stop them from dumping in the creek. I mean, they're still gonna dump on mine, but at least it'll stop it from going in the creek.
I will share that.
As a thought.
Yeah, I will share that. I might get in touch with you because I don't know all those locations by name like you do.
No,
But,
yeah.
yeah, but, you know, as I say, it's a shame that people do that.
Because, I mean, they're over there with a dump truck and they just back up and dump it. And if they can't get to the edge of the creek, they can't dump it in the river.
Right.
And most of the way, they don't have there's just those few spots where they have access.
Now, when I went through today, there was an area where there were a lot of targets set up for shooting. I mean, is that
That's
on your
my
land?
memo, yeah.
And is that allowable? Because I was looking at it and I was saying, so these are people coming in there and they're shooting and they don't even have enough courtesy to pick up.
Oh, no, they don't pick up. Oh, no, when they shoot bottle, they shoot everything. But, from my perspective, allowing that versus, there's no way to stop them.
Yeah.
Versus ticking them off and then having them burning my hay bales or shooting, you know, whatever else. It's just like, it's the lesser of the evils to just deal with that swath of trash every year and clean it up. So, but.
Appreciate your input.
But anyway, and you're welcome to get hold of me. We can talk about this some more.
Okay, Dan, thank you.
Yep.
Does anybody else have anything that they want to say? All right, so yeah, we'll keep this as an ongoing conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Two
you.
towns are close together. It would be good to have open communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. Would you like to come back?
May I come back?
Come on down, please. You're the next contestant.
I don't know.
All right, so continued discussion of the opening of class 2, 3, and 4 roads to ATVs.
So Mike and John are both here tonight, and Mike did bring us a
Yep.
draft of a ordinance.
Okay,
Yeah, so I apologize, I didn't get it in your packet before tonight, but, it's kind of our interpretation of the ordinance that we were asked to draft up, and just hand it out for your guys' review. We're kind of looking for the next step, if there is one, to warn it and get the public hearings going, get the ordinance, process underway,
yep.
if possible.
I got a question. I haven't seen that yet.
Here, take mine.
What gives the town the power to charge fees for this?
We don't know if we can actually do that, so.
Okay.
that has
So the
to be-
fees can be stricken if
that
that's,
is-
if
yeah.
that's the
That
sticking
has to
point.
go through I think we're gonna have to
It's,
check with our attorney on that.
Yeah,
We
It's a
discussed that
nominal
last
fee
time.
at this point, and if that's the problem, we can
Right.
strike the fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would need time to go through this, and yeah, the town attorney would have to look at it, and then after that, I guess we would vote on it, and then it would start going to public comment period.
What's the comment period? Is it 30 days?
60.
60?
And there's two here, two.
Ordinance is
yeah,
a little
there's-
different. Yeah, we have to do a little.
Hearings.
of those. Yep.
So at best, it would be spring before it, you
Right,
know,
and
went into
that's
effect,
fine.
which is fine, yeah.
I just think if we don't show up to one of these meetings, it's gonna be put on the back burner.
No, I appreciate you keeping
No,
on it.
no, I will
honestly.
keep it.
Until the next
I will-
person a few years down the road comes in and wants to do it too.
No, I will make sure it stays moving.
Yeah.
No, it's on, that stays on our agenda.
Did you guys have a chance to meet yet?
Yeah,
It's a long story.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah, we tried.
okay.
This is what we came up with.
Yeah, no,
we
Yeah.
drafted the ordinance and tried to get together, and it was
Yeah.
my fault. I was sick.
Oh, that's,
But,
Do you foresee any changes?
so I guess that's why we're
Would
giving
you
it to you.
look at it a little bit
Yeah.
more?
We're looking for you to take it.
We should look it over and then give it to Gary, and then we can start the
I mean,
roll.
we struck out a couple lines in it,
yep.
since we originally made it. And, if the fees create a problem, go with no fees for the town. I mean, it's not like it's gonna be a huge
Well, I think-
revenue source for the town.
We were
to begin
discussing
with.
the fees because we see it was a Bakersfield is charging a fee, but we were told by the league, but this was some time ago, that we couldn't charge the fees, which is why towns were setting up a club that would get a fee, and then that would go towards whatever trail maintenance, things like that, so.
See, but there will be,
There's no trails associated with this ordinance.
Right, there's no
So the
trails.
trail piece would go straight through V.S.A.
Right,
and be a separate,
Yeah.
but
Separate deal.
it might be all in wording, you know, instead of a permit, a town, or a, town registration, call it, a town usage permit, like the transfer station permit would be handled.
I think we gotta check with Gary and.
Yeah, I think there's
Yeah,
some
see
issue
what-
with it
Yeah.
being a public road that's already,
Yeah, we can check.
I understood that
Yeah.
the town cannot charge
Yeah,
a
that's
fee
what
for
I
the use
thought.
of the road.
we'll look at.
That's the gray area that we're all finding right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You reached out to Bakersfield and.
yeah, they kicked it to, the town office, told me I had to meet with the select board to get comment on that.
Got them in trouble.
So,
Nobody
So
wanna
maybe
talk.
it's a little contentious there,
Bakersfield
too.
won't talk to us now.
yeah,
And I have another question, if I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It says that all enforcement officer is authorized, it said first offense, $200, second offense, $400, waiver fee of $100. We already have statutes in Title 23 for ATVs,
okay.
so I don't know where these would be applicable.
We can easily strike that too.
Okay.
If there's already statutes in there for.
It Title 23 covers all ATV usage.
Good point,
And
Chief.
speed would it be like municipal?
So they're citing Title 24, chapter, section 59 in here, Mike, we'll have to look at that and see. It's in accordance with provisions for purposes of enforcement and judicial, it looks like it's civil. That's why, we'll look it up.
But I mean, it said like speeding. Speeding would be speeding, and it would fall under, Title 23,
Right.
1007 or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
all right.
yeah. Thank you
That's
so
all we got,
much.
That's all we got.
No, that's great, and I
that's great.
appreciate that.
You guys email
Great
that
place to
document
start.
to
Yeah.
Dave so that we can easily
Yes.
submit it, and then if we have changes, we can type them.
Yeah,
in.
Mike can make the fines higher.
Huh?
I said, Mike can make.
No, they're set by the state.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so that's what we'd have to enforce.
Well, I wonder if they were going with that Title 24 because it's civil instead of criminal. I don't know.
So a lot of these, Mike, were, like,
I know.
page from other ordinance.
Okay, but I mean, but it's still categorized a motor vehicle on a public highway, so I could see the state statute covering that.
Yep, yep,
We'll check it out.
Yeah,
yep.
Thanks, guys.
yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Chief Warfle, highway safety.
Can we just go that one? If you guys read through this, can you let us know if there's changes and we can
Yeah.
get them and run them all by Gary and go from there?
Yeah, and then, yeah.
And then, and
Chief
Mike
should
and I'll
look at
talk
it
and
too.
see, make sure we're using the right
Yep.
statute for tickets.
Okay, sounds good.
So you want stuff, when do you want it by?
As soon as you can.
Before next meeting?
All right,
Yeah, I mean, just email it to me if you want, that's
about
fine.
input, how about input in a week and then you
Yeah,
get it to
that'd
Gary?
be good. I'll tell you what, if I don't hear from you guys in a week, we'll reach out and then we'll get it to Gary. How's that sound?
Okay, that's fair.
It'd
Yep,
be nice to have something ready
That
for
way-
the next meeting.
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
All right, go
All right,
ahead.
it's ironic that we're gonna talk about speeding, okay? But in the last year, I wanted to recognize two of my officers, one being Stephanie Goulet, who's down in Florida on a ski trip.
Yeah.
He left this morning, and the other one was Dave Sawyer. Dave Sawyer had 1,023 total stops from last January. And Stefan, I'm trying to do the math here, had 572, along with 65 arrests between the two of them
Wow.
with motor vehicle. So I just wanted to reach out and have Dave come up, I'll give him a certificate and
A hearty handshake.
well, can I set this here for a second?
Yes,
Dave?
sir.
I just want to
There
shake
you
your
go.
hand. Well, I just want to recognize these guys because, I mean, Dave took the time to put up the new speed limit signs and stuff, and these guys have really been hammering the speeders.
Yeah.
And people in the town have recognized it and come to us and said that, and I think these guys deserve the recognition.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And everything works. Mr. Bowman, once he gets a year under his belt, will also be recognized.
All right, great.
Okay?
Great, thank
Thank
you.
you, Chief.
We appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
We
Have a
appreciate your
good night.
efforts. You too.
That's right, we won't have to charge for ATVs, we're taking it all on tickets.
But you
Jeez.
notice we haven't had any complaints this last year on speeders.
No, we haven't.
Oh, no,
We
they're down,
haven't.
yeah, they're,
It's
We've had
been
people
good.
come-
Yeah,
we have-
every now and then
Our
there's
street's
actually
been
a
Keep it up, guys.
compliment, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're-
Well,
they're-
after
they're
80
pushing-
miles an hour on Arch Street.
Absolutely.
67
Thank
was
you.
the last high score, I think.
Thank
See
you.
you guys.
80.
80's a new.
80 on Arch.
Arch Street, 80,
Is
yeah.
that who it was?
Yeah,
Shocker.
I didn't hear it either.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
All right, new business, I know. Town meeting warning approval. Did everybody have a chance to look through that?
I did.
Looks good. Thanks, Dan.
It looks perfect, yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion, questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Guess I sort of
Oh.
already covered the.
Yeah, I know, mandatory ethics training was redundant.
And there is the
It is
list of
redundant.
the both links there, so, so one of the videos.
Wait, where is that? Because I guess I haven't done the second training,
Right behind the
right?
warning. So one of the videos, the one that we've already taken, it's like 43 minutes long. And that one has a six question quiz on the
Yeah,
end
I
of it,
was-
and then you get your little certificate.
Yep.
When you get it, just email it to me. We're gonna just start a file for it. And then the open meeting law one, I think that one's 34 minutes. It's 10 minutes less than the other one, and just
They're
watch
pretty
it.
painless.
Just watch it and let me know you watched it.
You
please,
also
so
don't
we
have
can-
to watch it if you think that the voiceover is super annoying like I did. You can actually just go through like the slides.
And when does this need to be done by?
What are they saying? September 20.
September 25th, unless you were just elected, then you have 120 days.
Right. But it's seriously 43
Which is
minutes.
plenty of
Just
time to do these short little,
Get it done.
get it done.
Get it
I don't have that in my packet with the,
There.
I do need the second, I have the link for that second training, please. Thank you.
Do we have to appoint or elect?
That's coming
That's
up.
the next one on the
thing
agenda.
I knew it was
Good
on.
job anticipating
Yes.
that.
Calm down, Dan, calm down.
He's very excited.
Evidently.
Next, appoint designated ethics complaint recipient or recipients.
I nominate
plural.
Dan.
Thank goodness.
I'll second that nomination.
He is the new guy, right?
Yeah.
So what are the parameters, like,
I think they were looking for like someone from management and someone from the board, right? In case there was a
okay, I was
complaint
gonna say
with
how
the
many, I
board.
figured it should be at least more
Yeah.
than one person, so.
Somebody from one of the towns at the meeting we went to said I called up to ask that question, and the person there nominated me to do it. He said, don't call. So,
So, any volunteers?
So this is to
Take the
take
complaint.
in and
Take the
assess a
complaint.
complaint.
Right.
And the way it's structured is that the complaint gets taken in and you, correct me if I'm wrong, and then it goes to the state, but then the state actually can't do anything about municipal ethics.
No.
So then it gets kicked back to the proper place, which is here.
Another great piece
It
of
makes no
legislation.
sense. But
Another great
it's
piece
what's
of
the-
legislation.
What we have to
Yeah.
follow.
So you could just say that the town manager would be one of them.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
And then I think you guys nominated Dan. I thought that's what I heard.
Pretty sure we did.
Yeah, I heard a second.
Yeah. Like, I
But that
remember-
would be the secondary,
I
so if it's
remember-
against the
remember
town
speaking to it.
manager, then that's when
then
you
you-
get
I'll
it.
take it.
When I
He'll
said
take
on
it.
the, when I
He
said on the
said it.
select
He
board,
said
like
it.
the new
I
guy
will
was
say, I didn't
always
hear him
no matter
decline
what.
it,
So I
so-
guess
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
I
say
can
that
withdraw
you
it if
guys
you want.
always.
No, that's all right.
I don't
I'll-
mind.
New persons
I'll
always.
do
new
it.
persons.
You'll do it?
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, great. Do we need a vote on
That's
that?
because he wasn't
There.
primary.
I know.
I
Yep.
think we do.
All right,
think
who,
so.
who
I'll make
nominated
a
him?
motion.
Yeah.
He nominated, I
Second?
second.
You
Okay,
nominated,
all in
yeah,
favor, say
whatever.
aye.
Aye.
There.
Dan.
And that's
Thanks,
for
Dan.
that's for Dan and for town manager.
Town manager's
You're outnumbered
primary,
anyways.
Dan is
Yeah, and
secondary.
primary,
That
yeah.
happened on the original war.
All right,
Okay.
just do
So,
to and from transfer
And looking
station
at our,
funds?
yep, so this list in front of you, this is like our reserve
Oh,
funds that we have here, or, you know.
Hold
so
on.
A couple of them, I'm looking at where we're sitting financially for the sewer line project. ARPA's covered, we've got ARPA, we've got, I think, 60,000 in sewer. We're coming up about, well, we've got it figured out between water, because we're doing a little water work out there too, so when that comes down, we'll probably request that. But we're looking at some of these like transfer station funds. Obviously, we don't need those for anything anymore. And the well drilling loan funds, that's done. So, I would like to request that the board actually, transfer those funds over to the sewer capital fund.
No, you only want to transfer the transfer station. You don't want a well drilling because that's in the negative.
It's
That
a
I was
is-
just gonna say, that's
Well,
negative 13.
that was my
That
question.
That's the one that we gotta write off, so I'm sorry.
I
I'm
thought we already
sorry.
did that. I thought we,
No,
So
I thought we had 14,000 in there for
a
some.
ways
remember us-
ago, you had voted to do $6,000 of the well drilling loan as not, it wasn't gonna ever be paid.
okay.
Yes, we did do
I
that.
thought we
You're
just
right.
charged the whole
But-
thing off.
But by doing that, that's why this is at negative 13,684.24.
All right.
Is
Wires
from,
crossed
is
over.
part of that issue, so.
So where did we want to move funds from?
So move the transfer station
station.
funds to the sewer capital fund,
So got 7,000.
7,000. And that wants to go where?
to the sewer capital.
Sewer capital.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 line down.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Is there another one, or is that it?
No, the well drilling one, we need to just,
Go to general fund.
yep.
So where is the transfer station? Oh, all right, I see it now. Okay, so 7,000 from that roughly.
And then that would go away.
Up to the
And
79,000.
that's going up to
The 79.
Yep.
So the sewer fund is in the red, 300?
No, go to the sewer capital. It's
Okay.
It's not in the. It's not like I think that we're down to 80 grand on that one now, according to our last audit.
Which one's down to 80 grand? The sewer fund?
The 340 or 2, whatever is it?
341.
215?
I thought that one was down quite a bit from our
We
last
just-
audit. That was what you guys inherited when you took over the sewer.
Yeah, but this was just printed out, right?
Yep. So
So, the sewer fund line that you see on here fluctuates depending on the billing cycle and where we're at and
Yep.
what's been. So, disregard that line and
Okay.
just look at what says sewer capital, that's the line that you care about.
Okay.
Well, that answers that. Yep.
All right.
So that's where the transfer funds are going, transfer station.
sewer capital,
So
which
it's,
we'll use for this project
So-
out here.
So that gets us to roughly 86.5. Is that enough to cover what we need?
No,
extra?
when we get down to the end, Sean and I were talking that because we have a good amount in
No,
the
ARPA
water,
money
the water capital. Which one is it? Water service line? Hold
Yeah,
on.
it was 100 grand in that.
So that's and we're set where we could use, I think we're gonna be shy like 40 grand maybe, so we could use it out of that. We're doing some water work on there, not that we were planning on it, but.
So you're talking about the water capital improvements,
Right.
is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. So we don't need to move that one yet, though. That one's fine.
So all we wanna move is that $7,084.71 from the sewer fund,
No, from the transfer station.
I'm sorry,
Transfer
I'm
station
sorry,
and sewer fund.
from the transfer station
To
to the
sewer
sewer.
fund.
No, sewer capital.
Sewer capital. I do
Sewer
have that
fund
written
is
down.
something separate, sewer
Sewer
capital is the one.
All right,
Is that a
I
motion?
make a motion that we move $7,084.71 from the transfer station fund to the sewer capital fund.
Okay.
Second it.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, so the transfer station, we have no further expenses there?
No, we're done with
To
that.
operate?
We don't
all-
operate it.
The facility, we gotta take care of the facility?
Well, there's
right?
like
Well, we
minor electricity,
Use it for
right?
cold, we have buildings
storage
down there,
down
two
there.
cold storage, salt sheds, sand.
That'll come out of
So,
highway if we do anything.
The only
about
thing
it.
that the transfer station has is a light.
Yeah.
I
Right.
figured we'd let
No
them
need to have
keep
that
the lights
line
on
item.
down
Do we
there.
have to maintain the building?
No, actually, we just
Concrete.
talked with Lauren a couple weeks ago, cause they wanted to do a little work to it, so, that's up to
Lauren.
them. They run it,
Okay,
Lauren and
yeah.
Jeremy. So, no, we have no expenses associated with the transfer station at all right now.
All right.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, any, questions on the orders? I think that's all we have left.
Are we gonna do the well drilling one?
Well drilling.
Oh, yes, you know my
Just
agenda
I
in front of
screwed
me.
that one up big time.
I know, I thought we kinda just were, yeah. We
I'll let
could've
Ann
done
talk
that
on that one then.
So the well drilling one, we've made all of our loan payments. We had one that we wrote off completely. I am not sure how we got to 13,684.24, honestly. I'd have to dig back
Yeah.
to when John did this back. I think it was 2009, but don't quote me on that. I think Christopher was 2. But this is where we're at. There is one well loan out there outstanding that foreclosure proceedings are gonna start happening on because we can't get the person to make a payment. So we'd like to take that 13,684.24, zero it out to clean up our books and put that negative into the general fund since it was done for the good of the citizens overall. It wasn't the water fund requesting the money.
So the money that we're still owed on this well, we've obviously got a lien on. And that is how much?
Yes. About 3,000 something.
There was,
There was one that, the people went bankrupt.
Yep.
Were foreclosed upon. The people who did the closing in 2009, 2010 for that property completely overlooked the fact that there was a lien on the property by the town in the town clerk's office.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't here that time. When I came on board, they're showing that it was still in that owner's name, and I was the one that brought it to the town's attention that that person had vacated that premises back in 2009, 2010. They didn't even own that land anymore, and it had been bought through a foreclosure proceeding way back then. So when I came on, I had gone, I don't know if it was the Water Sewer Commission or it was you, right after you took over Water and Sewer Commission, and said, this is going to be an uncollectible debt
You
at this
told us
point.
that. Yeah.
So that's part of this 13,000. I don't know how it got from 90-something $100 to 13,000. I have a feeling it's the way interest used to be done on the due from accounts.
I think it's some book work.
I think it's some bookwork stuff, but I honestly don't feel like this is a water department thing. I feel it's more of a town thing from the way that the well loans were done.
So this was a fund when
When
Proctor Water shut their
put-
line down, they did it to me as
Yes.
well. And the town
The town,
provided loans
For these
for
people to
people to
drill their
drill
wells.
wells, is that
up to
right?
$6,000 apiece
Right.
per home.
Per home.
And there were between 22 and 24, I think,
People,
loans. And then this is what's outstanding. We've paid, the town has paid the debt, but this is, I can account for like 9,600 of the 13,000. I think
cleaning up our
some of
books, I
it was bookkeeping stuff from before I got here. but it just needs to be wiped out. That debt
So
has been
there's
paid.
one
There's one out.
loan in arrears, hasn't been paid for so long.
Hasn't been paid in 2 years or so. We've sent a letter. They had a time frame. They have not met that time frame. It needs to go to Gary to start foreclosure on
Should
that
we
property.
leave that in this category, or you just feel we should move it over in the general fund?
I feel
and
like
deal
we
with
should
it?
just move it over in the general fund. We have already,
It's all
um,
documented and everything, so it's not.
We
gonna-
won't mark
yeah.
the lien paid in the land.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
no, the
Still
lien will stay in the land records,
Right.
but this will clean up our books, so we're
Clean up
not.
this line item.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it'll cost us more than $3,000 to collect that in the end.
Right.
Yeah, well,
And it'll probably be after the next fiscal year before it's
it's done anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we still have a lien on the property,
Yeah.
even though it was
Oh, yeah.
in place and someone else bought it through foreclosure.
That 6,000 we'll never see, I don't
That one
believe.
we won't see.
That 6,000 something you will.
I'd like to make a motion to move $13,684.24 out of the well drilling.
No, it'll be into the well drilling loan fund from general fund,
Zero it out.
because it's a negative.
Oh, it's a debt, okay. Into, from the general fund to line item, well, take that line item
Zero it
out.
Yes.
Zero it out. Okay.
Nope, good. We have a second?
Yeah, second it.
Okay, any further discussion? You looked quizzical.
Well, no, I'm just, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. So what you're thinking is, it's around 9 grand, but then the 4 is probably interest.
Probably.
I believe so. I believe it was the way
Okay,
that
Where
they,
they used to
Bookkeeping.
calculate.
our past auditors did interest on these due
Yeah,
to,
they
due
did
from
all that
accounts.
way back then.
Now, did we, when we, I know I'm getting into the weeds here, but when we did these loans, was there interest on them?
No,
No.
They were interest-free loans.
Interest-free from the state.
I know, these people were with no water when that
It
shit
was
got shut down.
USDA,
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Tom was just the administrator.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just administered
We'll
it.
pass through.
Oh, so the money passed through us.
Kinda like
it was supposed to pass through us, yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Now, any questions on the orders? Hearing none, you can send them down and we'll sign them.
More tires.
So I'm gonna send you down
Oh my
the,
God, don't
I'm gonna
even.
send you down
I wanted to.
the warning for the town meetings right on top, so, okay.
Every
Just
2
so you
weeks,
know.
there's a set of tires.
Did we get that?
I almost asked them what they found on Carver Street, if they were worth us taking.
I was gonna say.
Should've taken a look at
I
it.
wonder if the cap is any good.
I've got one question.
Yes, Dan.
Brookside Services for garbage bags? Not much
So-
money, but
So
if
Brookside.
we're trying to
Yeah, no,
zero
no,
out,
No, there's a reasonable answer for this. So when they took over, there were people who still had the punch ticket
card.
things out, and so there's still some trickling in, and that's what we reimburse them for those tickets. So it's got to be coming to an end pretty soon.
yeah.
I think Lauren was in here last week, and it's
Somebody's
been
making it.
3 months maybe since she was in last, so it's starting to trickle down.
Okay.
So they're basically paying off the card, and then we reimburse them.
Light pen when it's running out.
Oh, sure.
Please. Thank you.
I noticed. It is cool, I gotta say this, when you're watching this from home, all we get to see is you.
I know.
There's water bottle.
Water bottle.
Did or didn't get to see
At least it's
that.
not a baby
Oh, it's usually out of the,
I like the panoramic on the top where
I
it
know.
shows everything. It's really cool how it works.
yeah, that's neat.
Well, if nothing else, then if I could please have a vote to go into executive session in accordance with 1 V.S.A. 313A, where premature general public knowledge
See you, Stephen.
would clearly place the municipality or person involved at a substantial disadvantage to discuss the appointment, employment, or evaluation of a public officer or employee, provided that a public body must make the final hiring or appointment decision and explain its reasons for the decision in open meeting. 1 V.S.A. 313A3 to include the town manager.
So moved.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.